Hey everybody, this is Rick, also known as CWW, coming to you from North Glen, Colorado this morning. Again, we came down here from Keensburg this morning. Today is test day to get your to pass the 3 CDL tests you have to pass here in Colorado or anywhere you really get a Class A license, just a basic Class A license. First test is general knowledge, then combination vehicles and air brakes, and you got to pass all 3 with at least an 80%. There's some great things that you can learn how to do, but you got to study. I mean, there are some techniques to help you a little bit. I learned to skip questions when I wasn't 100% sure, come back to them when I had more time, answer the ones I was sure of, and then come back, and that worked really well. But that said, it's really important that you are paying attention to what's going on, that you are paying attention to them, what they give you as far as information. What do I mean by that? Well, I know that before I came down here, and everybody who comes down here to Careers Worldwide, they send you a copy of the Colorado commercial driver's license manual for you to study, for you to read, so that you have a head start. When you get that, just don't leave it in there. Study, take some time, read through it, get a head start. This is so important. Okay, you cannot go, I don't care how good a driver you are, you cannot get a CDL license without passing these 3 tests. I mean, there are a lot of people who did pass all 3 tests today, but there are going to be some that missed 1 or 2. There's going to be some that missed all 3. But you got to study. You got to take the time. It reminds me of when I was back in the Marine Corps. We used to in our uniform pockets, utility pockets, we used to carry our book. We used to call it our knowledge. Where was your knowledge? And it didn't matter what great shape you were in. It didn't matter how great a marksman you were with any of that, unless you could also pass that knowledge, pass those tests. You had to pass them if you were going to become a Marine. Well, you got to do the same thing here if you're going to become a CDL driver. You got to pass those tests. If you don't, you're not going to be able to get a CDL A license. So listen to them. When you're here, if you come out here or you go to whatever CDL school you go to, study. Study, study, study. Every downtime, study. Don't be messing around. Study. You got to pass these tests. Okay? That said, well, again, the guys over here at Careers Worldwide, they set us up for success if you wanted to take it, but you got to take it yourself. You got to take the time. They have a study session the first day. They send you the information out. They keep giving you time to study. You got to do it. If you don't do it, then it's your fault. But you got nobody to blame but yourself. But they will help if you're really working hard. You can retake it, but you're going to have to pay for it out here. All right. So again, this afternoon we'll be back up in Keensburg. We'll be back up there I believe we'll be in the yard working on some coupling class. So starting to work around the vehicles, and in the next few days getting inside the vehicles, starting to learn about that. If you don't have your CLP though, your commercial learner's permit, you're going to be behind. So you don't want to spend any more time out here than you need to. So make sure you get that studying done. That said, as always, I'm going to record this afternoon, let you know how the rest of the day went, and we'll go from there. Again, this is Rick, also known as Duke City Devil Dog, up here in CDL school at Careers Worldwide, heading to Stevens Transport. Looking forward to that. I think I mentioned last night, one of the things that really was, we went to go eat, we walked to go eat, and there was actually in the parking lot next to where we went to go eat, a Stevens driver had stopped to get something to eat on his route, and it was very motivating just to see that black truck and those markings. There's nothing like it. I mean, it's just such a sleek look to it. It did motivate me, and also the people I ate with. It did motivate us for today and throughout. So I'm looking forward to someday being able to be behind the wheel of that truck in not too long. So, or a truck just like it anyway. But Stevens is known to have the best equipment, and and that truck sure looked like it. So anyway, again, have a great day, and I will talk to you this afternoon. Okay, hey guys, it is the afternoon of the 9th, so it's Wednesday. Earlier, like I said, we went to DMV, and we got our CDLs, or not our CDL permits anyway, our commercial learners permits. Those of us who were able to pass all 3 tests, which most of the people in my apartment did, and most of the people from Stevens did. Some of the people from the other companies struggled, but most of the people that we had, and we studied together, so that helped some. A couple tips I wanted to give that I was sort of surprised I didn't talk about, but I learned early on because I took the test before in New Mexico, is that you can skip questions and you can come back to them. So you know, for instance, the general knowledge test is like 50 questions, and you have to get 40 of them right to pass. Well, if you go through and skip the ones you're not 100% sure of, and you answer the ones that you know, you may get the 40 without having to deal with so much with those, or without them being stressful. If worse comes to worse, you get 30, 35, 36, 37, something like that, before you get to those ones you skipped. You've gotten a lot right, and you only have a few that you have to make educated, choices go through and sort of work it out. So that's the best way to do it. Plus, one of the things that, I've got a master's in post-secondary and adult education, among other things, and one of the things that when people learn and people take tests, the more they stress out, the harder it is for them to do. And when you start missing, when they tell you that you can only miss 10 questions and you miss a few in a row, or something like that, it gets very discouraging. And because it gets very discouraging, you start stressing more. So if you focus on the ones you know and take care of those ones, and then come back to the ones you're not sure of, you're less likely to be as stressed. So I suggest, for people, and for a couple people you could take it twice, each test twice today if you failed one. So we had one guy or actually a couple of guys who failed all 3 tests to start, and we talked to them in between them taking the retakes and said, hey, did you know you can skip? Even though it says it at the start, you can skip questions. They didn't really pay attention to that. And so we went through it with them, and they did that the second time around, and both of them ended up passing 2 of the 3 tests on the second try by doing that. So they're going back tomorrow to try to pass the 3rd one, and I'm pretty sure they will. But just a good tip for you, that kind of thing. Now, one other thing, as you can see, I'm by the front door where our apartment is. I'm not going to take you inside there today, but there's a reason behind it. So it's been really nice and warm the last couple of days out here in Kingsburg. It's been 80, 81 degrees hot. Earlier when I videotaped, it was hot. Well, we've known for a couple of days that this was coming, and there's a reason besides when you just go on the truck. Once you get down to Stevens, down to Dallas and stuff, and going through all these different kinds of weather, they tell you pack for all different kinds of weather. Even up here, like I said, it's been 80, 81 the last 4 days that we've been up here. It's been really nice, but weather's rolling in, and so I'm going to just show you, just to give you, and it's going to get hard to hear, but it is coming in, and it is coming in quick. You can see that. The low tonight's supposed to be in the teens. Tomorrow the high's only supposed to be 30, and we're supposed to get snow and rain. So there's a lot of people didn't bring warm weather gear, so we're going to try to hook them up, see what we can do to help. There's not a lot of places if you're coming to Kingsburg to shop. In fact, there's not really much of anything. A couple places where you might be able to get a hat or something. There's a secondhand store that's really nice, but they're only going to have what they have. So make sure you plan ahead. Make sure you know that you bring what you need to bring. That you look at the weather, what it's going to be like for 3 weeks, and know the time of year you're coming. Weather in Colorado can change fast, so you got to be prepared. Tomorrow's going to be a long day, and just because it's going to be snowy and everything, we're going to be at the yard all day. So we got to be prepared for that kind of weather. Also, even though it's going to be cold, make sure we stay hydrated, because especially if you're not used to altitude, this is, give or take 5,000 feet. A lot of people that we have here have come from sea level, so they're struggling a little bit. Luckily, Gallup, is about 6,200 feet, and Albuquerque is about 56 to 5,800 feet. So that's not a problem for me, but for others it's tough. So anyway, just wanted to go through that. Hope everything went well. Looking for, oh, one other thing we got to do today, which was great. First time in the truck. I should have mentioned that to start. Got to do some coupling and uncoupling. Didn't get to move it a lot, but you know, learning how to work a clutch on a big rig is not like working a clutch on a regular standard vehicle, four-wheel vehicle. So it's a little bit different, but you know, did get a little jerky one time with the clutch a little bit. Going back to knowing how to drive a regular stick shift, but this was a little bit different. But it did get to uncouple and recouple a truck and a trailer. So I'm pretty psyched about that. Tomorrow we're going to get in and start to do some straight line backing and work some more on our pre-trips. So anyway, that's it. It's been a good day. Looking forward to tomorrow. We'll see what the weather looks like in the morning. Hope you guys have a great one. And if you have any questions or anything that you know maybe I can answer, leave it in the comments below. Some stuff I may be able to answer, some stuff I may be able to get answers for, or you know, just tell you, you know, this is who you might want to talk to before you get here, or whatever. But we'll try to do the best we can. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the little button at the bottom that has a little bell. That'll get you noticed, get you notifications when I post. Again, I'm going to try to post every day while I'm here, but we'll see how it goes. So that's it. Again, this is Rick, also known as Duke City Devil Dog, here in Keensburg, Colorado, at Careers Worldwide, one of the premier truck driving CDL schools in the country, and lucky to be here. But on my way to working for Stevens Transport, so I'm psyched about that as well. Have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow.